Welcome to the But Also Trail Running Podcast. I'm your host, Celeste Fong. Let me start with a warning that this is an adult-only podcast. There will be profanity and indecent conversations. I would apologize, but I'm not really sorry. Of course, in this situation, again, it will probably be me being inappropriate and, having the potty mouth because our guest today is a good friend of mine, Mike Feinberg. Say hi, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
You're such an ass. So, Mike, we've known each other, maybe 10, 15 years?
About 10 and change, yeah, I would say at least, yeah.
Yeah. So you're a
Sure.
member of the 169 Club, which is how we met.
Yes.
Do you remember what year you joined?
I joined in 2014.
Same.
Yep.
So we probably met as soon as we both joined.
Sure. Yeah, I know. I consider, at least for me, 169, it kind of follows like the high school evolution. And currently, unfortunately for me, I'm working on my 169 GED. I'll probably go back in a little while and finish it up. But yeah, I got pretty far along. But yeah, I just had to drop out for a little bit.
How many towns do you have?
117.
Oh, so you're getting there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's just like it's like one town every 2 years or something like that. Or it's like, ooh, that seems like elusive. But yeah,
Well, in
for
your
sure.
defense, though, obviously you work full time, married with 2 kids. That's a lot.
Yes. Oh yeah. Once high school ramped up, and then last year was finishing up MBA for the past 2 years. So yeah, it was busy.
I mean, let's face the fact that an MBA is much more impressive than driving around the state. Okay.
Yeah. We found ways to keep busy for sure. But yeah, no, it needed to be done. It's really like the up and downs, and like again, kind of like with running and stuff like that. It was just one of those things where it was like hit a down point. It's like I need to see if I can fit in with the rest of the world. Let me try this.
Yes, fair. Fair. All right. So some background. When did you start running?
I started running, I would say around 2011, 2012. It was a 5K arc cross country 5K in Wallingford. I'm trying to remember. I think it was on the choke course, if I remember right. And it was like one of those things where I had tried a bunch of different things. I'd taken wushu classes over the years. They're a place in Orange. One of the masters that taught it, she also taught Tai Chi, and her claim to fame was that she was on the same Olympic team and delegation as Jet Li. So there's like pictures of her with Jet Li and stuff like that too.
That's cool.
And
Fuck.
yeah, that was pretty wild. And I just remember, I think I tried to do like a Tai Chi, and she said to me, and it always stuck. Like there's kind of little milestones of things that stuck with me, and one of it was like your mind and your body don't work together, and I'm like, I agree. So as I said, I ran out of time and kind of talent for doing wushu, so I just like I can put one foot in front of the other. Let's give that a try, and started from there. So.
Like, you're a good runner. Like, we always used to joke that it was very deceptive because, some people, when you see them running, you're like, shit, they're moving fast. You never look fast, but then I would look at your time and be like, well, he was running a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, it's funny just because and some of my friends tease me too because of I kind of have I guess what we call it Fred Flintstone cadence of just the feet kind of shuffle around, and they're like,
It's 100% accurate. You kind of hunch too, like you like kind of close in on yourself, and then you're like, boom, and you're gone. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's gone.
But it's funny because we one of my friends he actually moved to California, but he would take a lot of like running videos and stuff, and he's like, and we'd run early in the morning, so you'd see like steady and lane. He's like, look how steady Mike's run is, like you can't even see him like move side to side or anything. It's just like buzzing through. So yeah,
it's almost robotic. You're just like, which is just like an outside perspective, like what?
But it was just weird and took like a lot of twists and turns to get there. I remember there were a couple of things. I'd gone through like some medical issues when I was really young when I was first born and preemie and all that fun stuff. And then and I couldn't I they had to put a shunt in and all this fun stuff, and so I couldn't necessarily do contact sports. So there were two things. One I remember like the a doctor saying, "Oh, with the placement, it may affect your coordination a little bit. So it's just like you may never run faster than like let's say a fourth grader." And so like hearing that when I was like 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever, it was just kind of like instantly kind of stuck. It stuck a little bit, and then one time my brother, I don't know, randomly seemed to suggest it in middle school that I signed up for cross country. And I remember working up to the courage to actually sign up to actually be on the team and everything else. But then I remember like going home and just like psyching myself out and crying and just going, please, please don't make me sign up. And ended up being a band geek and drama dork at that point. And it just wasn't ready for it, I guess, at that point or like when I needed it. So yeah, it just kind of kept circling back around. And then when I was in high school, when they do things like soccer or like or practice football, or I they let me do square dancing, but there were a few. I used to go on the track and just kind of like either walk or run around and all that stuff, and never really worried about the time, but it felt better and passed the time. And I remember one time, I think my junior year, the gym teacher gave me like I got like the dedication to physical fitness award because I wasn't goofing off. I'd actually go on the track when everybody else was doing their stuff, and I was. And I remember I think me and my parents and we all laughed. We're like, "Really? Okay." I was like, still a chubby little freshman or whatever it was at the time, but
That's
but
adorable.
so it was like so yeah. It kind of just kind of ebbed and flowed from there, and I just remember around that time, 2010, 2012, I just felt like, you know, you hit that lonely period. I had like two toddlers at home at the time, and it's just like,
Yeah.
and you made that transition from college, where you're kind of like thrown into a situation where you're forced to meet friends. And then as you become the adult, you have to actually go out and make that kind of happen. And I was just like, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what to do. And Jen's like, oh, well, hey, here's a 5K coming up. Why don't you try that or whatever? And so I did that run and I was like, oh, wow, hey, that was pretty fun. Maybe I'll do that like, you know, once a couple of year or something like that. And then a month later, I saw one. I think it was a Marrakesh 5K, and it was on the Greenway in Hamden, over where the Quinnipiac North Campus is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was like the first time I kind of got a glimpse of like 169. Like I saw like a group of people. They were all like hopped up on a truck, and it looks like they printed out their 169 sign with a dot matrix printer. And I was like,
remember that.
I remember I was looking at it and I was just like, what is this? Is a bunch of accountants or what is going on? and and then I kind of looked up the view and signed up, and then I think the next race was like the Meriden Humane Society 5K, and it just kind of built up from there. We're just in the right spot where Jen was like really supportive of the whole thing and just kind of gave me a little bit of time. She noticed, it's a little more even keeled and just like relaxed when I got back, and uh, she got to meet everybody, and it all just kind of came together. It was just really good.
Yeah, and your wife is amazing. Like she's such a sweetheart.
I agree. I agree. Both my kids and my wife are way cooler than me, so
My
I don't know how I got away with it.
favorite running stories ever is this is going back a few years now, but we used to do the Winter Warrior Challenge every year. And we'd have the 169 team and we would all get together, a couple times, whatever. But the last day of the month, because it was January, we would always have a huge get together. And we'd go to like, what's that park? Elizabeth Park.
Yep.
West Hartford. And we'd set up tables like an aid station, like at an ultra, right? And we'd all go and we would just run all day. And we would hang out and there'd be a huge group of us. And it was epic. And one time Eli was there, your son. And something about him and I clicked immediately. And he's such a doll. So, I don't even remember. I was like, oh, can you watch my drink or something? And I'm like, I'll put it right here. Can you just keep an eye on it for me? And he was little at the time. And he's like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I got it. I'm like, all right. And, I'd come back after a loop and I was drinking and someone else put their drink where my drink went. And he was like, no, that's where Celeste's drink is. And he would not let anyone touch my place on that table. And I was like, that's it. This is my kid. I've adopted
Yeah.
forever.
Well, what I was remember Noah, and I think the year that we actually forced them to change the rules and everything else, the year that we kind of took home the trophy and stuff, it was actually 10 years ago. I think 2016 is, I think I still have the plaque somewhere
Oh,
for Winter
really?
Warrior. Yeah, yeah. So
I
10 years.
I think that year I was the top woman.
Yep.
And that was back when I really loved Winter Warrior because it was like kind of more small. Like it was,
Yep.
it was more like a local thing. And
Yeah, because it was actually, because Sound Runner, I think, was still local. I don't even think they got bought out by Marathon or anything at that point. So yeah.
right, it was Sound Runner. They
Yep.
gave me a $400 gift card for winning that.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and then the year I won the whole thing, when there was like thousands of people all over New England, all over the United States, whatever. And I won. I set the record of the most miles. I did over 700 miles in the month of January that year. And they didn't even, like, not even a t-shirt or a hat. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, I'm like, you had to have raised $30,000 or $40,000 doing this, right? Because if everybody paid $10
Yep.
and there was,
Over,
over 3,000 people.
and they definitely never spent the money on the website because it never worked, right?
It never
Yeah,
worked.
yeah.
There were people cheating left and right. It was
Oh yeah.
insane. I was like, I will never be doing this again. Like, never. I enjoyed it because it motivated me to get out there every day. But once it got to the point where people were like cheating and stuff, I was like, I don't need this in my life. Like, there was somebody that did it one year who, like, not on any race ever. Like, there was not on, any of the tracking for races like Strava, not on anything. And they were doing like 20, 30 miles a day. And I'm like, I don't believe you. Like, show me a map.
Sure.
Show me a map. And I always had my Strava public because I'm like, no, you can see every step I do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I remember that year. It was just like, oh gosh, a few minutes outside, if it was like running like underneath an awning or something like that, just to kind of keep moving, or because I think that was like one of the first years they had like the bomb cyclone or whatever it was. So it was like so cold that you could only stay out for so long. So it would be like at the gym and then run outside for a little bit, then go back inside or run outside for a little bit. And it's just like crazy.
One year, I think it was the year we won as a team.
Yep.
My middle one was sick. And she was old enough to be home alone for a little while, but I didn't want to go far in case she needed me, but I needed mileage. I live on a tiny cul-de-sac, meaning like looping the cul-de-sac is less than a quarter mile.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I forgot, like 13 or 17. I forgot how many miles, but I just kept going around on the cul-de-sac.
Yep.
All day because I didn't want to leave her.
Sure.
And the sad thing is, every runner in the world knows exactly what I'm talking about. Sure. And has done something like that, right?
Oh yeah, or especially like when everybody turned into like the Fitbit Tamagotchis, right? And you had to get those 10,000 steps, so you're just like pacing in the bedroom or whatever it is.
I was so guilty.
No, oh yeah. You're like, okay.
Yes.
It's almost midnight.
When
no.
Fitbit died when I was in Disney one time, I like cried. I was like, oh my God, I'm losing all these steps.
I know.
Loser. See, okay.
For sure. But
go ahead, what?
Well, that was kind of the thing, and I think that's why Winter Warrior was great, and that's why I was able to kind of ease into like 169 was that you didn't have to worry if you were running back of the pack or if you were running the front or wherever you were. Like everybody was kind of the same. You just had to show up and get your finish the town, get your registration. So it kind of took the pressure off. So whatever you could do, you could do. And that was kind of, and you just kind of said, all right, well, what can I do? And you were able to kind of just run the experiment and see how things run, you know?
Yeah. And it almost felt manageable too, because, there
Yep.
was a few hundred of us back then. So
Yep.
you knew almost every single person in the club, right? And there were a lot less races in the state, I think, back then.
Mm-hmm.
So less choices in it. And we didn't have like as much access
Yeah.
to like the race lists and you know what I mean?
Yeah. You would see like the same people at the same races, or you knew who was going to be there, or you had a pretty good idea. And but that's what I think it is too. Is it still kind of flows like a high school thing. You have like the people that you kind of got there and you joined with, or you first met with, and you just kind of flow through them through the classes and stuff like that. You know, it was always pretty fun.
Yeah, it's too, because at a race, this was, I don't know, maybe last year or something, I was volunteering at the race. And I had like they were doing the 169 photo, and true story, one of the ladies that was there was like, "Oh," it came up to me, was like, "Random stranger, can you take a picture of our running club?"
Yep.
Okay.
Sure. Sure.
Like,
Sure. Didn't have.
everybody who knew me was just laughing, but I was like, "I'll take a pic for you."
Sure. Sure.
Like,
Yeah. And two, sometimes that feels like when you go back to like your old high school and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I used to be somebody. It's like, hey, old man, move out of the way. We got stuff to do.
yes, right? Like, who are you? Or like
Yeah,
when you're talking to your kids or something, you're like, I know what you're going through. I went through the same thing, and they just can't. They're like, no, you didn't. You
no,
don't understand. Okay.
yeah. That was the 1900s. It was different back then.
Yeah, the 1900s. I will end your life, you little brat.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know.
I mean, they're right, but still.
Yeah. Oh, I
Well,
know.
and it's funny because I I know this is gonna shock you. Occasionally, I got in trouble when I was younger. Um,
No.
I know. I might have been a party girl a little bit, just tiny, tiny bit. And it's so funny because my kids are always like, "Oh, well, you don't know what I did." I'm like, "Honey, listen, you didn't do anything I did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been there. I've done that. Who are you?" And then they're like, "Okay, Mom, you are worse." I'm like, exactly. Girl,
That's right.
that's parenting 101.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, oh gosh, I remember going to like Eli's track meets and we kind of go back and forth, and it was just like, and you, I think I'd like run them and like we're running like a training lap like 4 miles on the trail or something like that, and I think I did a long run in the morning, and it's just like, wow, hey, try to keep up. You're older than me and you're fatter than me, it's like. And then I just like turn through them and it's like, here's my PR. How come I'm faster than you? Keep going. Go. And it's just like, and yeah, and that was the year he kind of like was able to kind of pick up his speed a little bit. It was fun. So it was just like, and that's all you kind of want too. You tease your kids, but you want them to outrun you. You want them to do, I mean, oh my gosh. So like, Eli, I played the drums in high school. Famously played the cymbals for all 4 years. I went to cymbal camp my junior year of high school, and came back, and Eli's like he's in the jazz band, and he's like playing like xylophones and all this stuff. And I'm like, awesome. And then I was the drama dork VP of the drama club in high school and all this stuff. My daughter is at the Center for the Arts. She gets to go there in afternoons in New Haven, and she's like studying like acting theory and all this stuff. And it was just like, oh wow, yes, go, outrun me, let's go, let's see where this goes.
When
It's
your
so fun.
kids, that's all you want in life, right? Is your kids
Yep.
to have better, be better, do better than you, right? Like that's
Mhm.
really your job as a parent. Um,
Sure. And two, like even with things like running that I didn't learn until I was in my late 30s or whatever. It's like, hey, I'm really anxious. This calms me down. Go do it. And then see my son go run or go to the gym and all this stuff, and just see him like kind of go from like stressed out high school junior and now senior to kind of just like calm down and even keel and just like, yes, cool. Someone taught you that earlier and I learned it. Perfect. Go, go,
Great.
go.
Yeah. And it's funny. I'm like, my kids are like, Mom, what about therapy? And I'm like, or I could run 100-miler. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just remember I had it was just like a long week. And again, haven't figured out the winter training cycle, but I had to meet with some people and there was like a group run on Wednesday nights in Wallingford. And so I was going there and just kind of just like bitching and complaining about the day and work and everything else. And like, and it's just, you're talking to somebody there and you just like, you start to go and you're like talking 100 miles a minute, like, yeah, da, 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 and then slowly, so like, da, 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 da. And I'm like, blank, you outrun the monkeys.
Yes. Oh, it's so wonderful. And then, like for me, you talk about like making friends as an adult, you had mentioned earlier, and how hard that is, right? Especially like
For
I don't
sure.
work, so I'm not going to make work friends. I used to volunteer a lot when the kids were in elementary school and I made friends that way, but like, then what? How do you make the
For sure.
friends? And with running though, being out there, like you said, you get out of work and you just talk a mile a minute and you get all of it out. And then it's like, you really develop strong friendships that way though, you know?
And it's been fun because like you get to see people playing, which is kind of fun. It's just like kind of in their element. And I remember I ended up with your past guest, Rick Shoup,
Yep.
on Vermont Ragnar. And like one of our teammates was she had just finished up like her lap, and this is like the second or third time that she'd done like the red loop in Vermont, and she like crushed it, and she's just like giddy, and you could see like almost like for I, I'm not sure, over 30 adult. I won't even guess ages, but you could see like the little teenager just like come out and go, yeah, look what I did, 10 minutes, heck yeah. And it was just like so cool. That
Yes,
was like
I
my
get
favorite part.
that though. And
Yep.
listen, any Ragnar with Rick is amazing. You know, my
Yes.
my first Ragnar ever was with you.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, we did Cape Cod. This is back when Ragnar Cape Cod.
Yes.
Our
No, I know it.
our team was so good. Like we had
Yes.
so much fun. Oh,
Yep.
Tough Muffins was the name of our team.
Yes. Oh, I know. And then that was the funny thing because like, and again, that kind of like pushed me into this one because Rick had asked us. We were at the cereal challenge actually, in Weathersfield, and he was just like, "Oh, I need two people," and like Melissa and I were both there, and we're like, "Yeah, all right, sounds good. It fits. Holy crap, let's go!" So it's like I wanted to run with Rick as soon as I saw him like kind of run through all the challenges and heard all the great things, and I was just like, "All right." It happened to work, and just the schedule worked out, and I was just like, "All right, let's go."
Man, we've
So
done
fun.
some insane shit. Like you just talked about the cereal challenge. We used to do like stupid stuff.
Well, in 2024, a few of my friends, they were training for a multi-day ultra. So it was in Europe actually, and it was just mountains and all this stuff, and but it was one of those things where I was just like, all right, well, I know I can't work that in my schedule, but can I keep up with the training?
Yeah.
So it was like, so I just like kind of latched on to kind of their training plan just to see how far I could get, and was able to kind of go through the whole thing. We do it like the runs at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and so it was just able to get it in, not disrupt the day. I was still finishing up some of the stuff for the MBA at the time, and just like, but it was able to like squeeze it in and just like, kind of see what 100-mile week was like, and it was like, holy fuck, it
Yeah,
was so fun.
it's fun, but it's work. And the training
Yeah.
too is weird because it's not just like mileage, right? Like when you're training
Yep.
for a marathon, it really is about like mileage, maybe tempo, all that stuff. But like
Sure.
when you're doing like multi-day or 100-miler, especially if you're not, like sub 24, you're going to obviously, but like if you're doing these multi-day, like 48 hour, 72 hour, whatever, or like Michael Presti just did 6 days,
Yep.
there's like lack of sleep that you have to train for. You're training your gut because there gets to be a point where you're just like, I can't even sip Gatorade. Okay, because I'm just going to pee on
Yep.
you. Except there's no
Oh yeah.
point. Yeah, and so like you said, you're training at like 4 a.m, you're training at midnight. You need to get used to running in the dark. You need to get used to running tired. You need to get used to like it's a whole different world.
Yeah, it's just like how to recover and go back on with your day, or when when 20-minute power nap could actually help, those type of things, and
Yeah.
and they were like kind of like almost like two swords taking out their trek poles and able to like slash them out and get them onto the ground and it's flip them back in. It was just like nice, just I, and that's been some of the coolest stuff. Lepresti reminded me too, like even being able to kind of help out as like a guide with Achilles, just to be able to like, because literally you're just there and you train just like any other athlete. So it's literally like running with your friends and you're just like there in case of an emergency, but they're just ready to go. And so you just get to bear witness this just really amazing, crazy stuff, which
Yeah,
has been
because
so
we've
fun.
done a
So
lot with Achilles, right?
yeah, I don't know. I, it's less now. Things got a little bit crazy, just like everything else. But yeah, was able to do, let's see, a few Hartfords with Adam, and then we did two New Yorks,
Yeah.
and then half of Boston, which was one with Harry. That was a really wild experience too, and just like being able to be on your feet and there's I was actually I was gonna try to squeeze one in 2024, but it was just like I just couldn't get everything together, especially because it was a high mileage year, and it was just like and it's one of those things you're there to serve, and it's just like no matter how good a shape you're in, you have to kind of be prepared for like you know you have to go under what you're prepared to normally run because you have that extra set of brain cycles just to make sure that your athlete's able to run and everything else, and the athlete was just too fast for me. Couldn't keep up, so I was just like had to humbly like sub out and just like watch them get it done. But yeah, I, you,
That
you
happens.
still get to oh, for sure. And it's funny because like a lot of my friends, they kind of grown up with track and they watching the Olympics and everything else. And it's just like, and they're able to like know who the top 10 are and who to watch out for. But I still can't sit and watch like track for the Olympics, or I'll watch it in like spurts, but don't follow it. But everybody I've met along the way, if they're in a marathon or something, I'm like refreshing the app like constantly to
Right.
see what's going on, to see how your friends are doing. It's so fun, and you just get that little hit of dopamine as you're like, yeah, go go go. It's
Yes.
like, oh
You
yeah,
find so much joy in what your like friends are doing and like watching the accomplishment. Like I think you would enjoy a multi-day event. Not just
for sure.
participating in it, but like the community of it. I think you would be
Well,
very good at it.
that's been the fun thing. There have been a couple like that. Actually, the friends that I actually run with in Wallingford now, I first met them just after our Ragnar volunteering at Anchor Down.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I met there. We kind of talked. We were both volunteers, and turned out we're like one town next to each other. So we just started kind of running from there, and just it kind of grew into like first it was like two of us and three of us, and there's like five or six of us that kind of just like alternate now, and that's it's been a real blessing there. And I've had samples of like doing things like the fall fling and the spring fling, where
Yep.
you kind of see that community running through,
Those are great
and yeah,
introductions to like the
yeah.
ultra community and the trail community and like yeah,
Uh,
the flings are
uh,
amazing.
and then actually, because this year in May I turned half century, so and one of my friends, she just turned a half century in November, so just before her 51st birthday in October, we're going to. I'll see. I'll send you the exact race, but one of the ones in New Jersey is just like a mile loop. But I guess it's like it is one of the multi-day events, but you can figure out how long you want to go and how, so we can try to get 50 miles in. So
Oh, the
that's
fair?
the.
Are you doing the fair?
I'm not sure if it's a fair or I got to look it up because there's like two that seem like the exact same style, and like one of my friends like she did the other one, so the
Okay.
one I keep finding it's the opposite one, but
You know what
it's
though?
still
I think my friend Mike was just talking about that race.
no,
I
could
don't.
be, could be, but
Listen, there's a lot of good races out there.
oh for sure, and two, I always felt like I could even one of the track ones where it's just like you're surrounded by a community and just kind of keep going and just see how far you can go because it's just like eventually you're just like you don't necessarily get bored with scenery, you just kind of hedge out. My brother is like really blessed to be able to remember everything geographically, wherever he's been, wherever he's gone, which direction he has to go. My son has that too, but me, I could have been there like 2 days ago. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I
in
can't
running,
sleep in my bedroom. So
it, in running, that's amazing though, because I can do like the longer courses. Like, oh wow, that's really beautiful, and then like 2 hours later, oh wow, that's really beautiful.
like I've only passed this 67 times. Why would I recognize it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, oh wow, I didn't see that before. Or I saw that before and I forgot about it. But yeah,
I
so
I have a friend like that. Like we'll do an out and back, and on the way back, she's like, "Well, we didn't go by here," and I'm like, "It's an out and back." So like, yes, we
yeah,
did. She's like, "No, we didn't.
yeah.
You're taking me the wrong way," and I'm like, "Oh, no, no, we really." And then she'll look at her map later, and she's like, "Oh, we did." I'm like,
Oh,
I love it. So, okay,
oh.
what's your favorite race that you've ever done?
All right. So I thought this question was coming, so I was trying to think it through. I I think one there's because I'm trying to think bigger races or smaller races. Probably
Give me one of
the
each.
most. Yeah. So I mean, I always kind of had a soft spot for New York as far as like big race goes.
Okay.
I it kind of all goes back to one of, one of those stories where I it was actually probably around 2006 2007 or I'm trying to remember, it could have been as early as like 2001 because I'm trying to remember if Jen and I were married or not, and we went to visit my great aunt in New York, and she was just a lifelong New Yorker. She worked as like a proofreader and everything else,
That's
and I just remember it was like the first time she got a chance to kind of meet Jen and everything, and we were there, and she was just like, and she, I remember she like patted me on the stomach, was like, "Hey, you should probably do something about that," and that's kind of when I started like really kind of stuck in my head, and as far as oh yeah, I got to figure out a way to get in shape or whatever. That's when I started wushu and everything else, and then brought me back to New York, and then I did Hartford for my first half, but then I was trying to plan for my first marathon, and I was looking at West Haven, and I think I even signed up, but the weather was like horrendous that day. We're just like, eat it. So I ended up getting into New York in 2015, and so her apartment was actually right across the street. You could see Central Park from it. So as I was kind of running through the race and kind of hit the west side and kind of looked over, and I was like, oh yeah, hey, look, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. And so that's always stuck. And then just being able to be there with Achilles too, like seeing everybody get prepped and get kind of the respect for the effort that they deserve,
yeah.
and just the way that helicopters are always flying around and how they do like each wave still feels special. They go through the same process for every wave, and the fact you still get to kind of run with the elites, even in 2023, through some of this stuff with Rolling Thunder and the kids, I was able to go then, and we got to stay at the hotel in New York, and that's in Hilton. Everybody stays at a hotel in New York. It was the Hilton was one of the official races. And so we got to see like all the athletes and stuff, and like meds running around giving interviews, walking down the hallway, and everybody's just has the same type of race jitters that you have, and you just kind of everybody who's coming from all over the world is still running on that same course as you, and because it's such like a big race, that's the one where the most people show up. So That one's always been fun.
Huh?
And then let's see, the John Jesse Kelly race. That 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 one's got a special place because that my dad, he grew up in New London,
Okay.
and so and I grew up in that general area, so it's like, oh hey, Waterford Library, hey, that's where my goldfish is in the pond, and especially the year that him and Eli and me, we got to volunteer for the race too and stuff like that, and so like even after he passed, it was like always a year, just kind of say hi and check in as you're running through the miles and stuff,
Yeah.
and then the friends that I run with in Wallingford, we all go too, so it's always just a really special race too. And then the the last one, I guess, is kind of like one that we kind of put together during COVID in 2021. We did like just like a 50K fast at the Wallingford High School. We did set up like a 1 mile loop,
Yep.
and we just did like kind of like a training loop that we had always done for the past couple of years anyway. And then we just kind of set up snacks there, and people, family members kind of came and gone, and there's only like 5 or 6 of us, and we're all just kind of looping around, and it
Oh,
was
I
just a
love
really good
that.
time.
Those are the best, though. That kind of,
Yes, for sure.
you know, it just made me think of it. My first 50 miler, which I did during COVID, around Weather's funsies, you were one of my
Okay.
up for me to pace me.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you paced me towards the beginning too. I was probably maybe 10, 20 miles in when you were there with me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, before
Cool,
I
cool.
got stupid and bitchy. Oh, no, wait, I'm not
No,
bitchy.
no,
Never mind.
no.
Never mind. Never mind.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know you when you were one. Sorry. No, no.
Oh, no, I was a bitch at one too. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't know you before you conceived, Celeste. I'm sorry.
The funny thing is my mom is like such a sweetheart. So like I don't know where I came from. But my dad too. My parents are like the nicest people ever. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Awesome.
Oh, I love it.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
What do you think is the hardest race you've ever done? And why was it that hard?
Uh, I think the one that kind of sticks out, it was I think it was 2021 Chicago,
Okay.
only because it was like one of the first races back, and like the first marathon for sure. The other one, and it was just like getting the body moving, and you're still going through a little bit of the COVID shock as well.
Yeah.
So you're just like,
There was just a lot of trauma with COVID. Let's be real.
yeah, yeah,
So all
yeah,
of
for
us
sure.
were traumatized from that.
So yeah, I just remember too. I'm like, just they had like a really well defined like tangent line there,
Yep.
and just kind of kept following that from there. And I think I even protein spilled on myself right towards the last mile, but still just like got it done. And it was just like, and it turned out too, it was the first time like anyone in our family had actually been to Chicago.
Okay.
So it was like a lot of tourist stuff there and everything else too, but just the actual race itself and just trying to stay motivated and keep on the line. I think that was one of the tougher ones too.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think like I mean some of the London ones, especially after my dad passed, and like when it got extra hot and everything else, just trying to get through that one and up and down the hill and just like, oh gosh,
It's
just
so hot there.
yeah.
No shade.
Oh gosh, we have an ongoing thread that happens like starting around June, July when Wave starts sending out the emails. It's just like, hey guys, watch out for August weather. Watch out, it's August weather.
Gosh.
Everybody be prepared.
Yes. Anchor Down's the same, where it's just that hot, it's
Oh,
humid, it's painful, and it
for sure.
sucks. But we keep
Oh,
going
yeah,
back, so who's stupid?
yeah, yeah. Hey, I make the same mistake many times. Just,
You think I'm not registered? I'm registered for Anchor Down, obviously.
and that's been the one I'm on the fence because it was like that's one I haven't been able to do. It usually lines up when we do like our summer family vacation. So, but I'll get there eventually.
You could also try like a notch view or hamster
Nice.
wheel or something like that.
Mhm.
Do like a multi.
Yeah, no, I see the posts. I'm like, ooh. I mean, even like, I I do appreciate a race that's like nearby. So, what's that? Forbidden Forest, right? Is that
Oh,
Stratford or?
Forbidden Forest is lovely.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
L- That Lou puts on really good races. Okay.
Mhm,
My
mhm,
first official ultra, like the first
mhm.
race that I did that was official was Forbidden Forest. I did like 80
Nice,
miles. That was my first.
nice.
I did the storybook there. I've done quite a few races with his. It's a really fun course. It's a good community. He's a great race director. 5 stars.
Mhm.
I recommend it. Do it. And it's close. Like it's
Nice.
not that far for you, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so at all. And then you maybe remember like one other one that was we did I think it was steep endurance, the Macedonia Trail,
Oh,
like 7 mile.
yes.
I
Oh,
don't know, we're just walking on edges of rocks and everything else, and we got through it. And I think I had done that one with with Adam Fleischer. I think we're both like just kind of teamed up on that one, and they got ropes pulling people down and stuff. And I think like that one was pretty wild.
yeah, that's
That one I was just like happy I got through it. I feel like a lot of my trail ones have kind of been like that, but
yeah.
and
I'm peculiar about my trails because I don't handle going down rock scrambles very well because I have like a fear of heights. And
gotcha.
it's not even like like it's like a psychosomatic, like my whole body will start shaking, I'll black out, I'll like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? So it's like freaky. When
Uh-huh.
to do the cut, a bunch of us went to, because there's like, it's called the chimney where it's like the steep downhill down, like it's just a rock scramble down. And I've been petrified of it for years. So I think it was
Of course.
Ashley, Selena, and Alicia took me, and we just went up and down it a few times to get me over the fear. And it's so funny because going down it is actually easier than going up it, but it took a lot to get me to do it. Like it was, I might have
Sure.
been dramatic, just a little, uh,
Hmm.
which is totally out of like my
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. Really? Wow. No, no. Well, it's funny because like again, we're going back a little bit to COVID because yeah, it was we used to do a lot of hiking, and we ended up doing like Camp Sloper, like doing some of the trails there and everything else. And it was just like my daughter could just like she was like bouncing off rocks like like a superhero, you know. And she's like, "Come on, guys!" And now she can't get over run or get near a trail, but I swear, some way she's gonna fall in with the trail mixers or what have you, and find some fun there. Because yeah, I
So
think it's definitely her vibe.
my dad was saying he loves climbing up rock scrambles. And I'm like, you should run. And he's like, I don't want to. I'm like, okay. But like I was saying, like I used to love hiking with my parents and then stop for a lot of years. Again, maybe I
Nope,
partied a little. But
sure.
it's like going back to your roots almost. So like maybe she'll find it again.
Yep, plant the seed. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe they'll find something else that they love. You know what I mean? Like
Yep,
my
that's
oldest
all I ask.
Yeah, my oldest just started crocheting. She's like, "Oh, I've wanted to do it for years because I used to crochet all the time." And she just started making me things now. It's great. But it's like something that they see you do and it might not hit now, but like
Hmm.
sometime it will. Hopefully. And it
Yep.
doesn't have to be like if my kids never run, that's fine. But if they find
Oh
a
yeah.
community that they love and they feel a part of and they can, you know, support
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Just you want them supported, and you want them to have an outlet, and you want them to just have be able to play. Just go
yes.
play.
Yeah, and
Yep.
enjoy life.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah.
Sure, for sure.
Anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna probably wrap it up.
For sure.
You are still one of my favorite people in the world, which is saying
No,
something because I don't like people because people are
no, thank you. I always feel like, and it's kind of like I think there's memes about it or whatever, where there's like an extrovert that adopts an introvert, and I appreciate that you adopted me and raised you as your own.
It's
And two,
true, right? Like, it is so funny because just to give some background to the listeners, like, so I don't, Mike calls me Pops. So I'm his father, and obviously you're my son. Now, I'm a year older than you, so how this happened, I don't know. But yeah,
so can I, the background on that
it's
was,
beautiful.
here's what I don't understand, and maybe you can't answer it, but all I know is like one time I'm looking at my mutual friends on my dad's Facebook. I'm like, oh, maybe, one of my parents' friends is there and stuff like that. I haven't talked to in a while or something. And I see Celeste is on there. And I'm like, I'm like, that's kind of weird. All right. My dad's in his late 70s, early 80s, whatever at the time. He probably clicked on a button, didn't know what he was doing. He was trying to like a picture or something. And then I was like, okay. Couple of weeks later, I'm like, I think just got back from the London and was going to visit my parents and stuff like that. He's like, oh, you're running? He's like, how's that Fong lady doing? And I'm like, yeah, she's good. Hi. So did my dad ever message you or anything? I don't know.
I don't think he ever messaged me, but like, I don't remember. God, because this is going back like at least
Yeah, yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, 5, 10 years somewhere in there. Yeah, I was just like, wait, what? And then it turned out like your birthday is like the day before his was and stuff like that. And it's like, I've never seen them both in the same place at the same time. Is this a fake account? What's going on? So I was just like, oh, I'll call you Pops. And I remember and laugh about it every time. So
At that point, it was just to mess with you. Like, we're just here to mess with you.
right on.
I mean, it's fun.
Oh, I, I feel like, and two, just with the world as it is right now, everybody's like, yeah, someone's going back in time and messing with the timeline, thinking that you're thinking this thing was this way, and then all of a sudden it's that way, and everything like from like one of those time travel movies and stuff like that seems to happen to me,
That's
where you're
like,
just like,
what is it called? The Mandela effect?
yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I
The
can't.
Bernstein Bears,
Yeah, the
you know,
Bernstein Bears.
you know. Oh
Oh,
gosh,
yeah, it's beautiful.
but same Celeste, one of my favorites as well. And again, this is my social time for the week, so yeah, it was social with somebody. Good time. Woohoo!
I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on and sharing a bunch of stories and just, you're like me in that a lot of your memories and what makes running special is the more emotional part of it
For
versus
sure.
the like it's not just about a finish time or
My gosh, that BR. Yeah,
right,
it's fun.
but like you're not like, oh, my favorite race was the one I did the best at. You're like, no, my favorite race is this because of this memory and this, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like, especially as it approached the half century milestone, right? It was just like, all right, can can I be strong enough and brave enough to like wipe out like the PR memories or whatever, and just kind of take the race as it comes right now? It's like, all right, if I'm building back up, can I appreciate here's the feeling of progress rather than go, oh, I was so much faster in 2018 type of thing, and kind of just enjoy it again, you know?
And it's a difficult transition.
Yep.
Turned 50 last year, and it is a then it's like, because sometimes one of my friends is always, well, you could run this pace if you wanted to. And I'm like, yeah, I could. I have no interest in doing that. Like, it's just not for me. So,
And
like,
I could want to. Yeah,
I could
exactly.
want to, but I don't. So, like,
Yeah, yeah.
let me find my joy in my running, however that is. Like,
Yep,
sometimes just going out and hiking 20 miles and listening to a good book. I can
for
find my
sure.
joy and my battery charge and everything doing that. So like, uh,
Hmm. How
you know,
can you fill your cup?
yeah, and you have to appreciate that.
For sure. And yeah, and you get out of your own head and just like appreciate, but yeah, that's what needs to be done. Like I was on the treadmill yesterday, and it was like and I was just like, it took my son to the gym. I know the clock is ticking when I'm at the Y, and he's already there, so I'm just like, all right. And I started to do intervals on there, and I'm like, all right, cool, all right, a little faster, all right, slower, faster, slower, faster, slower. The results was probably an unimpressive 2 miles. Even Garmin was like unproductive, but I'm like, no, I feel better. So Screw you guys.
Garmin, you can fuck off
Yep.
twice, because
Hey.
shut up.
Well, at least I'm not detraining, so I'm okay.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
like your VO2 max is plummeting. But yeah.
You suck. Oh, my Garmin's been acting like really weird. It's like I shoveled the driveway and it's like, you have 900 feet of elevation. I'm like, girl, my driveway's flat. So like, what?
You lifted your arm 900 times.
Apparently. Oh, crazy.
Crazy.
Anyway, all right, Mike, you are the absolute best. Thank you.